You know that conventional advice that you hear that literally just never works? I'll tell you a story about a conversation starter that I tried one time that I literally found on YouTube, and it made things so awkward. So 2 years ago, I remember I'm at my gym and I saw this girl that I really wanted to approach. So I wait for the perfect opportunity. I see that she's just finishing with a set of squats and I go straight towards her. And this is where things start to go bad. She sees me walking up to her and she is not looking happy to see me. She starts to take off her headphones and I can tell by that look on her face she's kind of like, ugh, another guy I have to fend off. So I walk up to her and I say, hey, I've never seen you here before. I just wanted to introduce myself. She's like, what's your name? And just from there, things keep going downhill. I'm like, I'm Andrew. How long have you been here? She's like, 3 years. Yeah, so in that moment, I already knew I'd messed up and I just decided I'm just gonna cut my losses right here. I say, well, it's nice to meet you, have a good day, and I walk straight away. But you know that advice, like I literally learned this from a YouTuber named Charisma on Command, and he's like, go up to her and introduce yourself and say, I've never seen you here before. Did not work. Don't follow that advice. I'll tell you what's actually been working for me as I've been out and about and testing all of these things. I'm not gonna waste any of your time. The first conversation starter is the one I recommend the least, and that is to give them a compliment. The reason why I say I don't recommend it that much is because if the person is the same sex as you, it's perfectly okay. But then if you try to go to somebody that's the opposite sex and you just straight up give them a compliment, they're gonna think that you want something from them. Think about it this way. I used to go to the gym and I would walk up to guys that were jacked and tell them like, bro, you are so strong. What are you doing differently? And they would always appreciate when I came up to them and I told them this. But imagine now if you went up to a girl and the first thing you said is, wow, you are so beautiful. In her mind, she already knows that you're attracted to her because you're walking up to her. But now you're telling her that she's also beautiful without having even gotten to know her. So this is why I don't always recommend this one, but it does work wonders, especially if you're talking to somebody that's of the same gender as you. The second one is make an observation. One of the guys that I'm coaching went up to this guy that was set up at a lake. He had this camera and this guy, he just walks up to him and he's like, wow, that's a perfect place to take photos. And the guy that was taking the pictures looked at him and he's like, thank you. And then he got back to taking his pictures. But the thing about making an observation is sometimes a person will want to keep talking to you, sometimes they won't. But you don't need anything when you make an observation. And so you come across as like this guy that's confident and is willing to say what's on his mind, and you seem socially intelligent. So this one I highly recommend. The third one is to go up to somebody and to ask them, how's it going? And now before you click away because you think it's bad advice, I learned this from one of my friends, Skylar. This guy's literally a Chad, and what I realized that this does is it just gives you the open space to see if the person actually wants to continue talking to you. Because that's all you're doing when you're starting a conversation with somebody is seeing how they respond to you. And so if you can go up to them in a non-needy way and just be like, how's it going? They'll tell you exactly how it's going. And if they're giving you positive feedback, like they actually want to sit there and talk to you, then you just keep the conversation going. And if not, you don't. But here's a great follow-up to how's it going if they ask you the same thing. So let's say you go up to somebody and you say, how's it going? They're like, good, how are you? You could say, I'm doing good, but I didn't get that much sleep last night. And you know sometimes when you don't get a lot of sleep, but you still feel like super energized? Like have you ever had that feeling like maybe you slept 3 hours, but you woke up like ready to go? This is how you keep the conversation going after that. You gotta give them more than what they gave you because then they'll respond positively. Now the fourth one is to ask for directions. This one is so simple, I'm surprised more people don't do it. Asking for directions is something that anybody will give you. And it's not really asking for that much. But another way you can use this is find somebody you find attractive. Go up to them and ask them, hey, excuse me, where's the nearest bathroom? And now when you ask this question, the reason you ask is because you want to see how they respond to you. And so while they're telling you, oh yeah, it's over there, pay attention to how they're looking at you. Pay attention to if they're smiling. Pay attention if they have their body language facing you, because that's all indications of whether or not they actually enjoy your presence. Now the last one is, and this one is the one I recommend the most, go up to somebody and ask them, hey, let me get your opinion on something. Everybody loves to give their opinion, and we always value people who value our opinions. It would be like if you walk up to a girl and you're like, well, not a girl, but let's say you walk up to your sister and you're like, hey, what do you think about this outfit that I have on? I'm trying to figure out if it's a good one or not. They're gonna take their time and they're gonna be like, this is, let me tell you, that's a good outfit, but I would change this and this and this. And the person is now kind of like here because you went up to them and you valued their opinion. The one I've been using personally, as I've been in Bali, is I'll go up to girls that I've never met and I'll just tell them, hey, let me get your opinion on something. You know any good places to get food around here? And I've had like 5-10 minute conversations of girls just telling me, yeah, I got you. They'll pull up their phone and they'll have like all of the places saved that they like, and they're like, this one's good for this, but not really for this. This one's good if like you want to take a girl on a date, it's perfect for that. This one, it just like opens them up so much more because you don't need anything, but you kind of want to know their opinion on something. And so you go up to them and you do that. If you use these 5 conversation starters, people will start to open up to you, and they're not like pickup lines. I used to try to go up to girls and use a pickup line. Like, oh man, that shit never works. All you're trying to do is have a conversation and see how they respond to you. If you do this, you'll start to have way better interactions with people. And I know it's not your fault that it's so hard sometimes to have a conversation, but COVID lockdowns did a number on people. It felt like everybody was antisocial for so long that now they don't even know how to talk. But you can do something about it. So don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. Are you gonna do the work? Peace.